Welcome to the CCTV America News Hour. I'm Mike Walter. We begin in Ukraine, where scores have been killed in the standoff between protesters and police in the capital. We've got a live look at the protesters' encampment in the heart of Kiev. You can still see the dimly lit area, but it is rather quiet now. It was chaos, though, on Thursday as snipers opened fire on demonstrators, and the protesters raced to carry away the wounded and the dead. At least 101 people have died this week in Ukraine, and Thursday was the deadliest day yet. We have team coverage, beginning with CCTV's Roee Ruttenberg in Kiev.
It was broad daylight, but one of Ukraine's darkest moments, as an already bloody central Kiev turned even bloodier. Witnesses say snipers on rooftop buildings fired at demonstrators. Others say they heard automatic weapons being used.
I was standing near him at the barricades. The guy was standing, and then there was a shot from the Ukraine hotel, and he fell down. He was still breathing, and he said, "Brothers, I don't want to die." 30 seconds later, he was dead.
It's unclear if the protesters confronted police, who then responded, or if they were the ones confronted. The bodies of those killed were laid out in the center of Independence Square. The injured were rushed out in a flurry of ambulances. As the death toll quickly rose, both sides blamed the other.
The so-called peaceful protests have so far not been peaceful protests, but radical attacks. Protesters continue seizing administrative buildings and burning cars. Today, despite it being a day of mourning, despite the truce, they fire at riot police and military forces, targeting them with weapons since early morning.
Ukraine's Interior Ministry issued an order authorizing police to be armed. It says it's in response to its officers being kidnapped by the protesters. Meanwhile, the opposition is determined to maintain its position in the square until its demands are met, namely that the president, Viktor Yanukovych, step down. A truce that was announced on Wednesday night by the president on his website, but not confirmed by the opposition, failed to bring any calm.
You see their truce? They've announced the truce but keep throwing grenades at us. This is what they mean by truce. We don't trust them, and we will keep defending ourselves.
Meanwhile, the city's acting mayor resigned from the president's ruling party of regions, along with nearly 10 others. The standoff and violence are unprecedented in Ukraine's 23 years of independence. And as the uncertainty of what happens next looms, everyone here appears to be on edge. Roee Ruttenberg, CCTV in Kiev.